So today I thought to talk about the current situation and how we should understand the current situation in this world. So it is important to understand. When we are understanding the world, we should understand how we understand the world. What are the resources we have to understand the world? What is the meaning of understanding of the world? So mainly this understanding totally based on what we are experiencing now. So that is the way how we try to understand based on our experiences. So what are the basis of our experiences? When we go to the deep to analyze, then we see how it happens within ourselves. Anyway, now we see that now this pandemic is gradually increasing in all over the world. When we see how the numbers are gradually increasing that is the affected people or the suffering people, or how many active cases in this world. So the numbers are gradually increasing when we take the whole world. In the same time, in Victoria also the numbers are increasing. That is the affected people or the people who are currently having this sickness, that means this illness, this COVID, influenza. So the numbers are increasing. So we see the previously numbers increased and decreased. So now again the second wave, something like second wave, we see here in Victoria. In the same time, if you check the whole world, the numbers, figures of the whole world, it is if you take the world as a one thing, so the number of active cases are gradually increasing. In the same time, the death toll also increasing. So now today I checked, over 600,000 people have already died in the whole world. So in Victoria also the numbers are gradually increasing. In other countries, some countries going less and less when we are taking about day by day counts. But some countries still these numbers are increasing. Some countries come to a flat curve. That means the day by day counts are almost same. So I have seen in some countries in Europe starting the second wave. So we don't know how much it will grow in future. So we saw in Victoria, it started from a small level and it accelerated very fast. So now you see. So these things are we are experiencing now. So because this pandemic, most people are facing difficulty to making their livelihood. That means they do their jobs or businesses or whatever thing. So now people have to face difficulties. And some countries, the interest rates also getting lowered. So the savings also don't give much benefit for people. So because the interest rates when goes down, the people don't get much revenue from their savings, or they have to spend their savings. So the level of savings also going down. So most of the people are facing difficulties to live as they lived early. So they have to cut down their expenses. So they are facing to a new challenge in their life which they never expected before. So, in the same time, the governments also have to use different approaches to this pandemic, because previously the most government did this lockdown method. So they locked down the whole society to stop spreading this virus. People had an expectation to get the vaccine to stop spreading or make the people's immunity build up, and then people can withstand with this pandemic without facing any problem. So that means spreading can control easily by a vaccine, but still it is not available in the market, or the people can't expect it will come soon to the market, or the governments can give to all people to this vaccine. So we have to wait at least until end of this year. So until end of this year also we have to live in this world by managing our savings or the government support or whatever thing. Government support is just for survival, not for live as you live early. So most people are facing difficulties, especially now the people who are living in Victoria, so have to face more and more lockdowns. If this pandemic, the growth rate become much more higher. So that means it's spreading. If we are facing much more spreading, so then the government has to strengthen the lockdown rules and go to a deeper, the much more stronger lockdown than now. So this kind of situations most people don't expect, but that's why it is important to live in the present moment. So the future is uncertain. So according to the Lord Buddha's teachings, so because future arises based on causes and conditions in that future moment. So the future. So we don't know what will happen in tomorrow. So we keep hopes about a vaccine. Sometimes these vaccines also may not work as people expect now. It gives different results. So we don't know. So that's why the people who knew about this reality very well taught us the future is uncertain. So we try to make it certain, but it is very difficult. So we can see. So most of the time we are not much aware what we thought and what actually happened, even in our past. If we are mindful and mindfully watch what we thought and what actually happened in our past, there is no big difference. But this is a very good instance. You can see something happening in all over the world, and all people face the same problem, and the powerful governments, even the powerful people or the people who have authority on health field, try to find out solutions for this pandemic, but they found very difficult to find out solutions. So therefore we can see how much people can do when this kind of problem comes. So this is a special situation. But most of other situations, even in past, sometimes we are not much worried about these things, depending on where we lived and what we did. But if we carefully analyze what we thought early and what we did later, so these things have huge differences. Most of the time, when we come to the stage to implement our past intentions, we actually adjust according to the situation. So sometimes we could implement as we thought, but sometimes we may not able to do like that. We just do whatever thing appropriate to that moment, that time, when we are implementing our previous plans. So that is the reality. So this is a difficult situation. This is something threatening to your lifestyle. So that's why we have to understand this reality. This is a good opportunity for us to understand the reality of our life. This uncertainty of our expectations or life, or whatever the benefits we are enjoying now, is in uncertain situation. So even our life, whatever thing we are experiencing, whatever thing, whatever body, whatever eye, ear, nose, tongue, body we are having now is impermanent. And what are the objects we are experiencing from external world? That means the external forms come to your eye, sounds come to your ear, smells come to your nose, taste come to your tongue, and touches come to your body. Also impermanent, uncertain. So these things change based on different causes and conditions. Therefore, our experiences change without having any control with us. So things are changing. In the same time, our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body also change depending on internal changes. Internal changes mean the changes happening to the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, the form part. That means if some germ enter to your eye and make a damage to your eye, then your eyesight may impair by that infection. That is one thing can expect, one thing can happen. In the same time, if your mind change, and when your mind change to a different situation, so you don't see what you can see now, because your mind is not interested to see that part. Your mind is interested to see something else. So the mind also, the mentality part also can change. Then your eyesight change to a different level. So if you analyze these things carefully within yourself, you can clearly understand what I am saying. So in the same way, whatever thing come to your ear, nose, tongue, body also change depending on the causes and conditions changing in your form part, or that means the materiality part or mentality part might change independently. So then your experiences are changed. The external part, the six faculties also change. That means the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, if they touches come from the outside. That means the forms come to your eye. The taste, the sounds come to your ear. Smells come to your nose. Taste come to your tongue. So the touches come to your body from outside. This is the outside world. That is also can change. Internal, your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body can change. In the mentality related to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind also can change. So these things are uncertain things, impermanent things. So if we have this understanding, if you keep this understanding always with us, so we see this reality as a reality. It is not something special for me or something only happened to me, but it is common for all living beings. It is common for all consciousnesses. So then you can understand, yes, this is the reality of this world. So nothing to worry. There is no solution. If there is no solution, no point of worrying about it. No need to try to fight against these things. So we have to understand this is the reality of this body and mind. Just let the things be. Let the things go. Whatever thing you are experiencing, you just watch it and try to understand it. If you can do something in this present moment, you can do it. But whatever thing you are doing is may not appropriate after some time, or may not work, or you can drive into more and more doings, but no any sort of a result. So for your day-to-day life, you have to do whatever thing necessary to do for your day-to-day life. But you can cut off as much as you can and let go the things. Let the things be. And be contented with the changing world, with the changing experiences or the new experiences. And try to adjust according to the current situation. And be kind, soft and gentle to yourself, and be kind, soft and gentle to the external world, all other living beings. Because all the things are changing based on different causes and conditions, even within yourself and in the other peoples also. Bodies and minds run based on different causes and conditions, and those causes and conditions are a natural flow of happening things. So we have to take in that way. That is the reality of this world. So if you have this understanding, you can use it in your day-to-day life. So you first, these things 2,500 years ago, Lord Buddha taught these things to the world and introduced us to use this knowledge at the beginning. So then you see this world in a different way. So you relate to this world in a different way. So then you get a released mind. You get ease of living in this world. You can subside all unhappiness, discontentment, suffering, and free your mind from the suffering states. You can remove the dart of the mind. So clear your mind from unhappiness, suffering, and be happy with whatever thing you are experiencing. Let the things be. And remove your mind from these worlds or objects come from the five sense world, and free your mind from five sense world, and focus your attention to the mind world and be free from the distractions of five sense world. So that is the meaning of the Noble Eightfold Path. So once you focus to the mental world, so the forms related to the fine material realm or the mind world, so these are not something related to the five sense world. So your mind becomes still and unshakable. So that's what Lord Buddha told us to experience. Once you experience, then you see, you can let go this five sense world, the whole five sense world, and release from the five sense world objects and free your mind. That is the deep part of the Buddhism. But anyway, I would like to tell you, for the all listeners, to understand and keep in mind this reality, Because this body and mind is not always under our control. It is run by causes and conditions. When we are mindful, we can let go things. We know this reality. Mindfulness means you are mindful about what is happening in now. In the same time, you know this impermanent nature, non-self nature and suffering nature of all experiences. So therefore, you are not much worried about whatever thing happening. You just let go as much as you can. And you use your experiences to maintain your life if it is necessary. Otherwise, you let go, and you can free your mind from all suffering states. You can let go things and free your mind from all distractions and unhappinesses and all these things. In the same time, you can develop this positive attitude towards your life, and you can find out different other methods to live in your day-to-day life. So now I know the many people do their job from their home over the internet. There is the present world have this kind of facilities to work, but not all people. Now I heard recently this building construction industry in the city also, government want to hold or the lockdown, bring under the lockdown regime. So then that means you stop all building construction work. So then the tradies who are working there have to stop their work. So then they have to wait until the lockdown release. So they actually, most of these tradesmen worked until now, but in future they also have to rest at their home and maintain their minds without coming to the this unskillful mental states. That means the hatred and greed should creep in their mind. So they should know how to maintain their mind. They should for maintaining their minds, not to engaging with these negative mental states, they have to first accept the reality of this world, not to blame anyone. So people can put the blame on anyone. So some people blame to the Chinese people, some people blame to the president or prime minister or someone else. So all this blaming game is foolish. So this is the world. People do whatever thing they think or they understand as appropriate. But these knowledges are not permanent or fixed. These knowledges, these understandings, always updating, changing. That is the way how this world works. So we have to accept this reality. Our knowledges, if we watch carefully within ourselves or our minds, if we watch carefully our minds, we see we also always updating our knowledges. We educating. That is the way how this consciousness works. That's why Lord Buddha say it always creates suffering. Because you choose one thing today as good, but after a few days you think, oh, I missed something. I was fooled by someone. So then I have to find out, I see now that is not the best thing. Best thing is somewhere else. So then you are running behind the new best thing. Once you get it, you see much better thing than that. So that is how our life is running. That is a part of the delusion, because the delusion related to this, our consciousness, is always with us. So that's why we have to understand this reality. It is a part of the system. It is a part of our consciousness. It is something common for all living beings. So that's why Lord Buddha say, only you can achieve the total eradication of suffering, means you should achieve the total extinguishment of consciousness. Once you extinguish all consciousnesses, then you can totally eliminate suffering. In the other words, when you are having consciousness, definitely it will leads to some sort of suffering in sooner or later. So that is the reality of this existence. That is the reality of our experiences. That is the meaning of Sankittena Panchupadanakkhandha dukkha in Pali terms. When Lord Buddha was explaining this dukkha satya, the noble truth of suffering, he explained in that way. Because all experiences ultimately create suffering. Because the consciousness always grasping these experiences. So that is a part of the system. So we have to accept that reality. So if you have any questions, you can post on live chat, YouTube live chats, so then I can answer. So I would like to read. I would like to read sutta, small sutta, related to this perversion of our perceptions, mind, and our view, because it is a part of the system. Lord Buddha teach in many places, in many suttas, thousands of suttas you can see in Tipitaka. This Lord Buddha teach this, because these wrong perceptions, wrong view, we face suffering. We don't see how to eliminate suffering, how to subside the negative mental states, how to let go the unhappiness and discontentment. So therefore, it is good to keep, because I am reading most of the time these suttas to remind the people to what Lord Buddha told us actually. So this is a sutta coming Anguttara Nikaya, the numbered discourses, the fourth. This is number 49 sutta, the Vipallasa Sutta. In Pali terms we say Anguttara Nikaya Chatukka Nipata Rohitassa Vagga Vipallasa Sutta. In English, numbered discourses, fourth, fifth, with Rohitassa, number 49, inversions. This inversions word used by the Bhikkhu Bodhi. So I am reading the Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation. So Ajahn Sujato used the perversions. So actually these meanings, these words may not give the exact translation of Vipallasa. Vipallasa is you see things in a distorted way, or you see things upside down. That kind of meaning given by the Vipallasa, the word Vipallasa in Pali. So anyway, I'm reading this. Please try to understand. Inversions. Bhikkhus, there are these four inversions of perception, inversions of mind, and inversions of view. What for? The inversion of perception, mind, and view that takes the impermanent to be permanent. The inversion of perception, mind, and view that takes what is suffering to be pleasurable. The inversion of perception, mind, and view that takes what is non-self to be self. The inversion of perception, mind, and view that takes what is unattractive to be attractive. These are the 4 inversions of perception, mind and view. There are bhikkhus, these 4 non-inversions of perception, non-inversions of mind and non-inversions of view. What for? The non-inversion of perception, mind and view that takes the impermanent to be impermanent. The non-inversion of perception, mind and view that takes what is suffering to be suffering. The non-inversion of perception, mind and view that takes what is non-self to be non-self. The non-inversion of perception, mind and view that takes what is unattractive to be unattractive. These are the 4 non-inversions of perception, mind and view. That is the sutta. There are the translations of 4 verses also there. So I will read the verses also. Perceiving permanence in the impermanent, perceiving pleasure in what is suffering, perceiving a self in what is non-self, and perceiving attractiveness in what is unattractive, being resort to wrong views, their minds deranged, their perceptions twisted. Such people are bound by the yoke of Mara and do not reach security from bondage, being continue in samsara, going to birth and death. But when the Buddhas arise in the world, sending forth a brilliant light, they reveal this Dhamma that leads to the stilling of suffering. Having heard it, wise people have regained their sanity. They have seen the impermanent as impermanent, and what is suffering as suffering. They have seen what is non-self as non-self, and the unattractive as unattractive. By acquisition of the right view, they have overcome all suffering. So that is those are the verses. So the translations. So it is good to read these suttas again and again and keep in mind. So these things actually give you a light to how to understand, how to live in this world. So how to relate to this world. So how to keep your wise attention on your experiences. So then you can subside suffering. You can let go all the unwholesome mental states and cultivate the wholesome mental states gradually. So it will helpful to develop the path up to the final stages. So this is not something difficult to understand. So that's why at the end of these verses, by the acquisition of the right view, they have overcome all suffering. So that is the important part. Then you enter to the path once you understand this right view. So this impermanent nature, non-self nature and suffering nature related to our body and mind. You accept that reality and use it in your day-to-day life. Okay, is there any questions? No, still you don't have. Okay, one have. Okay, good. So, Mike.
Accepting the things as they are means one should not try to change the conditions. Namas 8, I don't know what the last word means.
Yeah. The accepting reality means you accept this unforeseen nature or the unexpected happenings in this world. In the same time, whatever thing you are experiencing in this world, you are not, some unforeseen things are happening, unexpected things are happening. So this is the nature of the world. But you can adjust accordingly. You have to, when you are living in this world, you have to maintain your life. You have to, if you are a lay person or you have a family, you have to look after your family. You have to do whatever thing appropriate according to the situation. So you have to adjust without worrying. You can face to the current situation or face to whatever thing you are experiencing. So that is the positive attitude you can easily develop. If you maintain this positive attitude, so you can quickly adjust according to the situation and find out the opportunities within this current situation and adjust accordingly. But most people fall into the negative mental states because they have a lot of expectations. They have a lot of attachments to their way of living. So that's why people fall into the negative mental states, and they don't see the opportunities they have now to go. That means always Ajahn Brahm say, think out of box. So so then you see the opportunities in the current present moment. But when your mind fall into the negative mental states, you always see the things go, how things goes wrong, or the other people's faults and the negative things. So these things make your mind more contracted, not the happy and open mind. Then you can do anything according to the situation. That's what that is the meaning of this one. In the same time, you are not the chasing behind the targets, but you make up your mind to live in the present moment, and you are contented whatever thing you are having now. So these are the important aspects of your life in any season, not even without having any this COVID or this kind of pandemic. Because this pandemic is common for many people. That's why people can discuss about this one. But most people experience this kind of situation in their individual lives in many times. If a person face the cancer, so they have no way to escape from the cancer. So only they can give the treatment sometimes. If the doctors are saying, oh, it is spreading very fast, it is fatal. So they have no way to escape from the cancer. They have to die within 1 month, 2 months, 6 months or some time. So these are, people face this kind of situation individually. So then other people don't worry about these things. They think, oh, our bodies are okay, perfect, until they face to that problem one day. Some people, they don't face to this kind of cancer, but they face to a road accident and die within minutes, or suffer few months in the hospital. Some people never recover from the bodily impairments forever, for until they die. So these things are not uncommon, but this is a easy situation because all people face the same problem. So that's why it is everyone can pay attention at this time. But this is a common situation in this world. If you read the history of pandemics in Wikipedia, you can see how even 1200 BC, before Christ, also before Common Era, these are this kind of pandemics. They have the write down some information regarding this kind of pandemics. Is it something common in this world? This is impermanence, non-self nature. You have to admit. So is there any other questions? Okay, good.
Thanks, Bhante, for the talk. It is sometimes difficult to practice this in reality. Although I know this theory of impermanence, etc., how can I improve this?
So they're actually not improving. You are not. Only thing is, if you understand this impermanent nature, and not only impermanent, actually you can say the what is the other word? This anicca is uncertainty, because not impermanent, even the uncertain things. So the uncertainty is also because we take most of the things as certain, but uncertainty and impermanence we have to keep in mind. It is a part of our experiences. All our experiences are impermanent and uncertain. So this, if you know this reality, so you should not try to find out this reality within whatever thing you are experiencing. That is the foolish part of doing things. So because most people encourage people to see impermanence within whatever you are experiencing. You know it very well. You have to think few seconds about your previous experiences. You quickly understand all experiences are impermanent. So no need to find out it in your experiences, no need to watch it. But the only thing you have to understand is, you have to apply that knowledge in your day-to-day life when you are interacting with objects, when you are dealing with objects. These are impermanent things. No need to worry, no need to suffer, no need, just let go. If it is necessary, just use it as it is. Or if you need to improve it, yes, just do it. If it is not possible, just let the things be. So that how you relate to these things is totally change if you accept this impermanent nature and non-self nature, the next thing. Because your experiences, whatever thing you experience now, is always based on whatever thing you know now, or whatever thing, how you take it, the conditions of your mentality at this moment is totally create the perceptions and volitions. So these things are not fixed things, these are changing things. So that's why the Lord Buddha said, if you accept that reality within yourself, how it works, your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind is impermanent things. Whatever forms, feelings, perceptions, volitions arise in your mind is impermanent. These are change. So how can you take as yours? Always these things based on causes and conditions arise this moment, based on the causes and conditions in this moment. When the moment change, come to a new moment, the causes and conditions also change to a different thing. And your feelings, perceptions, volitions change to a different state. So different perceptions, volitions and feelings arise in your mind. So that's why you can't take, this is my perception, this is my feeling, this is how I feel. These things are impermanent stuff. So you no need to take it as yours. You just keep that knowledge in your mind and act accordingly. Then your attitude towards your experience change. So then you are not fall into suffering states. Because when you are attached to things, when you crave to things, that leads to suffering. When you are not craving to things, you just use as it is. Then or you just accept the reality. Then you are ready to adjust to any situation, because you don't crave to any feeling, perception, volition. You just ready to adjust to something else. So that is the meaning of the using that knowledge in your day-to-day life.
Next question.
Yeah.
Please elaborate on the meaning of suffering as explained by the Buddha.
Yeah, the suffering is the Lord Buddha explained in many different levels. So Lord Buddha the basically say people can easily understand this birth is suffering. Sometimes birth is suffering is most people don't understand. But if you carefully watch, is there anyone at the birth? Have you heard any child is laughing at birth? No. When they come to this world, they cry. So that means it is painful. But you can't remember it. That is the only difference. But the mothers know, or the midwives, or the people who handle the births know. All children, when they come to the birth, they cry. Birth is and if you reflect your small age, if you recollect your small age, you're afraid to big people. You're afraid to even a dog when you are a small child, because dog is a huge one. When you are the 6 month child or the 1 year child, you're afraid to this. Once your body grow, then when your body becomes strong, then you don't worry about this kind of small creatures also. So otherwise you're afraid. So that's why the birth and the build up your life to a certain level, you're afraid to the world. So you have to listen to the others, and so this the building up life is suffering actually. Birth is suffering. So that is the one thing. The old age, the sickness, this is illnesses, old age is also suffering, because old age means the body faculties start the declining its workable level, and this the strength and power, everything going down. So the decaying body makes you suffer. So in the same time, the death also, you have to leave all the attachments. That means all your loving ones and your properties, your wealth, everything you have to leave and go when the death comes to you. So these things are easily understand things for all people. The suffering, these are suffering. So then the second stage, Lord Buddha say, pihi vipayoga dukkha, appihi sampayoga dukkha. So then yampinchan nalabati tampidu. So whatever thing you are delighted, you like, you prefer, you have to leave, and you don't get it, you don't receive it, then you suffer. Or whatever thing you don't like is come to your contact, so come to you. So that is also that is what is happening now. Easily you can understand. You don't like pandemic. I don't know who like pandemic. This pandemic situation in the COVID. Yeah. So I don't know. So maybe the mask makers may like pandemic. I don't know. So anyway, so these things create suffering. So that's why Lord Buddha say that, and if you are longing to get something, if you don't get it, you suffer. So these are the situations of suffering. You can easily understand. But when you go to the deeper level of your experiences, Lord Buddha say, Sankittena panchupadana khandha dukkha. That is in brief, all your experiences create the attachments. So all these attachments create suffering. That means each and every mind moment leads to certain level of suffering. That's why you should know how to extinguish this five sense world first, and then after that you should learn how to let go of your mental world and free from all these arising things. That means you have to experience the total extinguishment of all experiences, forms, feelings, perceptions, and volitions, everything. So then you know how to extinguish suffering. Until you have all these things, at least one of these things, it leads to suffering. So that is the meaning. So you have to, there is the deeper level understanding of suffering. So then it leads to the total extinguishment of suffering.
Okay. Next question, Bhante. Can Bhante explain the meaning of non-inversion of perceptions from the sutta? I do not understand.
Yeah, the inversion of the perception means when we are, in brief, I will say, so when we are interacting with your experiences, so shall we say, so when you go to the table for eating, you see someone is giving a meal for you. So you see some food you prefer actually. So you want to eat it. So then your perceptions come. Oh, this is good, this is nice, this is beautiful. So if that person says, oh no, that is for our sick brother. So these foods actually I made for sick brother. Your food is, then they saw another place of the table. This is your food. That is for my sick brother. So this kind of situation, then your mind gets suffer. So the meaning is, you get a wrong perception. That means it is a part of the consciousness because your preferences. So it is when you perceive something, there is underlying tendency. It is something fixed, something permanent, something you are experiencing. If you know these perceptions are changed based on causes and conditions, that whatever thing arises in this moment may change at any time. So then you build up the ability to cut off and let go things. You are not highly attached to your experiences. That is the difference of when you are using this knowledge of the reality, this impermanent nature, non-self nature and suffering nature. So the perversion of the perception is your perceptions always based on this permanent nature, certainty. Because you are certain about this food for me, but this food is not for you. It is for some sick person. Your food is something else. In this kind of situation, this is just, I create this example, but you can find out many examples in your life. Whatever thing you thought for you. Sometimes when you are working in your office, you think, oh, now our boss is going to resign. So I am the next to him. I will get the promotion and I will become the chief of the office. You may think, but the higher chairman or the board of management decide to hire a different person from different company to that position. Then your perceptions, you fall into suffering because your expectations, your wrong perceptions. So if you know about this impermanent nature, non-self nature and suffering nature of your perceptions, if you know about it, you build up the ability to cut off and let go quickly. That is the part of practice of meditation. When you are practicing meditation, you cut off all perceptions, you cut off all feelings, you cut off all forms, feelings, perceptions and volitions, and free your mind from all these things and focus your mind to a different world. So by focusing to a different mental state, you train your mind to cut off and let go all five sense world objects and five sense world attachments, five sense world valuation, everything. You train your mind to free from five sense world. That is the purpose of meditation. Letting go. So is that enough? Okay.
Any advice on the looming crisis during this period of lockdown? It is hard to not think about the purpose of life during this time.
Yeah. It is good this is a good opportunity to think about the purpose of life. Because you should understand, this life came to you because your past intentions. That means that's why you come to birth. According to Buddhism, not only the Buddhism, but actually the people who see this big picture, how it is happening, how people come to a birth, why these sentient beings go in lifetime to lifetime. So what are the governing power, the forces brings in this samsara? That means birth to death to birth, like that. So it is a flow of happening things. What are the governing causes and conditions? So the people who can clearly understand, once they develop their mind beyond this five sense world and go to the different states of existences, so then they can clearly see how it works, how these intentions drives you, how these intentions arise, how these attachments drives you in this samsara. So that's why it is good to understand this reality in this way, in big picture. Then you can let go things. Then you once you see, then you relate to your experiences in a different way. So please tell me the question again. Okay. I think I forgot.
Any advice on the looming crisis during this period of lockdown?
Yes. Yeah. Then so now then you can see this when this kind of crisis happen. So you see how your expectations, your plans are, you have to adjust according to the situation, because this crisis is, we don't know the real solution for this crisis. We don't know how long time we have to undergo this lockdown situation. So we have to face the reality. So we have to find out alternative methods. Sometimes you have to cut down your expenditure. Sometimes you have to adjust according to the situation. So without blaming anyone, because blaming is falling again your mind into the negative mental states. It creates more suffering. So it is good to accept the reality as it is and be kind to yourself and be kind to all the kith and kin or the relations you are living with you or your family, and be kind to the other people who are doing the services in this country or wherever you are living. So it creates more positive mental states and happiness, and you can find out the much more productive, beneficial way of living in even under the lockdown when you are living in your home. Sometimes I have seen the government encourage people to do the repair work in your home and your garden and do some work which you can do in this lockdown situation. So it will make you happy. It will make you the contented person, because you do something, and you do something at least beneficial for your family, at least beneficial for the people who depend on you. So this kind of, or otherwise sometimes you can help to your neighbors or whatever thing. So sometimes you can continue your job for helping other people. Different people have different conditions. So it is good to understand this the reality in positive mental states. You can maintain your positive mental states by accepting the reality as it is, without fighting against it, but adjusting according to the situation.
Bhante, could you please give some practical examples of positive and wholesome ways to think and act during the challenges of lockdown? You want me to repeat the question again?
Yeah. No. The positive, and that's what I am telling. This sometimes this government also say to when you have to stay in your home, you can do some work in your home. So do some repair work. Previously you may have spent money to give a tradie to do. So then this time you can do by yourself if it is possible, or otherwise you can do some gardening or some beneficial other work. So that depends on your capacity or what you can do. At least if you don't have anything to do, you can listen to this kind of Dhamma talks and try to practice meditation to stilling your mind, letting go your mind, the mentality, all thinking, stop all thinking, and make your mind silent and be kind, soft and gentle. So it is also beneficial. It is also another way of dealing with your life. So then if you stop thinking, your positive mental states start growing. If you think more, then the negative mental state naturally growing. That is something common for all living beings. If you start thinking, it creates a lot of negative mental states. It is the nature of mind. So, as much as you can, stop thinking. Think only the necessary things. If your mind is go to the negative mental state, just stop thinking and try to let go things. Be kind to all the living beings. Remind yourself the impermanent nature, non-self nature and suffering nature all the time, and let go things. Free your mind. That is the way how you can do, even you don't have anything to do now. So anyway, when you are living in your day-to-day life, you have to cook at least. You have to eat at least. You have to stay in your home. Sometimes you may start reading books or listen, they go through, browse the internet, and so don't read or browse the internet and read things or see things which makes your mind more increase the craving in your mind or hatred in your mind. If anything, increase the greed, hatred in your mind, just throw away, keep it aside. Because greed and hatred always based on the wrong view. So greed and hatred arise because you take things as permanent or certain. These most of the 99%, not 99%, 100% of these things are uncertain things, impermanent things. And one day your consciousness has let go these things. You are not hold on to these things. You can't hold on to these things. So that's why it is good to keep that attitude towards all your experiences. All this is uncertain, impermanent. And no self to hold on these things. There is no I, me, myself here to hold on these things. Whatever thing you value now in this moment, after some days or a few moments later, you devalue the same thing and you see the value in something else. So that is how your mind is always revolving. Okay.
Since COVID-19, I think more about death, which is a good thing because I'm kinder and more patient.
Yeah.
Why does thinking about death change your mental state like this?
Ask me again.
Why does thinking about death change your mental state like this? Should I repeat the question again? Okay.
Yeah.
Since COVID-19, I think more about death, which is a good thing because I'm kinder and more patient.
Yeah.
Why does thinking about that or about this change your mental state like this?
Yeah. It is a great thing to think about death because it is in Buddhist practices, the contemplation on death is used as a meditation method. Because when you focused on death, you see the end of all your experiences. You try to understand the end of all your experiences, all your attachments, all your responsibilities, all your work. There is an end. So when you reflect on, then actually it is releasing the most of the intentions arise in your heart. You subside because when the death comes, you can't do. So no need to think, no need to make aspirations, intentions. You just leave it alone. So that is a great thing. That is a part of the Buddhist practices. So contemplate on death. So think about death. This is a good opportunity to see the death because many people are dying. Now in all over the world, over 600,000 people has already died. So it is good ongoing process. Still even in Victoria, the deaths are growing. So we see the death can come to us at any time. So it is not only this COVID situation. Even without this COVID, death come to us one day. So if we contemplate on death, It is really helpful. We see the end of all our experiences, end of all the attachments in this life is come to an end. After you go to the death, you can't claim about about your properties or your bank accounts and anything. So then you are the people who are living in this world say, "Oh, a ghost came, try to process all these things," or then they try to chase you away because you are now a ghost, not a human. Now you can't prove your identity. So that's why the contemplating on death and sickness also. Sometimes if you go to the make your body and the body enable state, that means you become a vegetable. So then you can't do anything. So you can't experience the world as you did it early. So then your mind prepare to let go things, free your mind. It makes you a huge relief. This is a good experience for many people. How you suffered by these attachments, because these attachments create how much suffering to you. So you can see, you can experience once you let go things. So it is compelled by the world to you. Let go. But forcefully you are now. Once you let go, you are getting more and more free. The freedom, you can experience the freedom much more. Okay. Is that finished? Is there any questions?
No more questions.
No more questions. Okay. Now I can stop. I will pay respect to Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha and finish today Dhamma talk. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivade Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namassam Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namah. Okay.